What up, guys? It's Fernando back with another video. Today we'll be doing the Raw recap and review for the May 4th episode. Again, another strong episode here from WWE. Again, post Mania, these shows have been really good, very entertaining. A lot of stuff to go through here, and a lot of progression and stuff we're gonna get. So let's get into it. We start off with the show with Roman. He wants to come to the ring and he wants to sign this contract with Adam Pearce and Jacob Fatu, but Adam Pearce comes and says Jacob Fatu is not in the building yet, and he gets mad and he's going through Gorilla, and he wants to go to the ring, and he runs into Seth Rollins, and they basically just have a little face off, and Roman ends up going back, and Seth Rollins makes his way to the ring, which I thought was real cool. Anytime you can get these two in the same vicinity, it brings back so much. Just Seth and Roman. I think in my opinion, Seth is underrated. He is the best in WWE. And then you obviously have Roman Reigns, and with all the history, just having them face to face, the crowd knew they knew that these two. There's always a future for them to collide. But anyways, Seth makes his way to the ring, and as he's coming out for his entrance, Braun Breaker attacks him from behind and ends up spearing him and putting some damage here on Seth Rollins, which just to open the show. I knew we were in for something good. Get a little backstage segment between the Judgment Day, where Liv basically says why was Finn in the Judgment Day clubhouse, and demanding answers from Roxanne, and saying that she needs to not keep secrets from the family, aka the Judgment Day, and basically just hinting at some tension, but nothing really. And it really made Liv look like a dictator, like she's in full control of everything that goes on in the Judgment Day, that she is the boss of everyone and wants to know everything. So there is that. But then we get into the match with Finn and JD. This match really shocked me. But anyways, so Dom's ringside. He keeps cheating, grabbing Finn's legs, and even the numbers game comes into play. And then eventually Roxanne comes to the ring all by herself. She walks down. She's ringside. Judgment Day keep on cheating, and eventually Liv and Raquel come to the ring. They end up cheating. They throw a hammer, and basically they come to test Roxanne's allegiance and her loyalty to the Judgment Day. She ends up hitting Finn with the bell hammer, and JD headbutts Finn, and boom, we have JD pick up the win here. This shocked me. I mean, I understand why they're doing this, just to keep the feud going and having JD pick up a win here, but with a headbutt and with everything that Finn's done, him losing it didn't sit right with me at all. It really shocked me. I get that the numbers game played a big role, but this feud really took a nosedive after the heel turn and the babyface turn of Finn Balor before Mania. This just nothing for this hits for me. It just doesn't seem right. WWE didn't do anything with it for 4 or 5 weeks, and it just lost all steam. The fire went out, and now they're potentially hinting at Roxanne, between some tension between there. Is Roxanne going to turn? Now she's loyal to the Judgment Day. It's just going to drag out longer and longer and longer, and there is no upside for Finn Balor here. I really thought they were going to do something with Finn Balor after this feud ended, but I feel like WWE is just putting him in this feud and going to keep this feud going for very long, just because they don't know what else to do with them. And it's sad, because I love Finn Balor and he's great, and then it just keeps Dominic Mysterio at this same level for months at a time, and this big group of the Judgment Day just isn't really progressing as a group of a whole. It's individually they are all great, and they've made some steps, but as a group, it's really just become real stale with the Judgment Day. Next, we get to a banger of a match. We have Penta and Javon Evans versus Rusev and Ethan Page. This match was chaos from the beginning, from jump. We had a suplex into a kick up from Javon. I mean, Javon and Penta look great. Their teamwork, their chemistry together as a tag team was great. It was fast paced. We had Penta drivers. Obviously, Javon jumps over Rusev. He's trying to spear him, and he ends up hitting the steps. A tornado DDT from Penta. It was just crazy. It was a hyped up match. It was really good, and it ends with shockingly, or not so shockingly, but Javon's going he's going to jump off the top rope through the announce table onto Rusev. They ended up taking advantage of that, pushing Javon off, and a Uranagi onto the announce table onto Penta from Rusev. He throws him back into the ring, all while the referee's distracted, and Ethan Page ends up suplexing, which is kind of odd. Penta and picking up the win here. So we have Ethan Page and Rusev pick up the win over Javon and Penta. I was really hyped for this match. It was a good match, but I really thought we were going to get this match at Backlash, like a fatal four-way type thing. But WWE just didn't seem to pull a trigger on it. But obviously, this is just going to continue on and on and on and on until we do get that inevitable, I believe, fatal four-way match or some type of multi-man match for the Intercontinental Championship. But again, this is just progressing that feud. Great match. I'll just give it a positive on the show, just because the match was just pure entertainment. And we get to my favorite part of the night. This part was nothing major, but we had the Sol Ruca contract signing. She comes to the ring. She's saying how she's glad to be part of Raw, and then she immediately gets interrupted by Becky Lynch, none other than the greatest of all time, Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch comes to the ring and she's just running her mouth. The way she just talks and yaps and just doesn't shut the hell up is just amazing. And man, is she so damn entertaining. But anyway, she's doing her normal spiel, and the crowd is eating this segment up. And Sol Ruca comes in and basically just interrupts her and says, "You are a rude, big-headed bitch." And Sol Ruca actually pops herself. She started laughing. I think it was because of the reaction and the facial expression that Becky was giving her and saying to the crowd, and it was just fantastic. So Sol Ruca ends up breaking character herself, I think, which slightly for like half a second ends up laughing at her own line. Becky goes to punch her. She moves out the way and she punches Adam Pearce. And then she's going like saying she didn't mean to punch Adam Pearce. And then Sol Ruca hits a soul snatcher. This is where they should have gone immediately with the call-up of Sol Ruca straight to Becky Lynch. They had that little one-off match with Liv Morgan, but this is where it needed to go, and I'm glad they finally got here. Boy, this is going to be a heater. These two are going to absolutely burn the house down in the ring, I believe. Becky Lynch is just, her IQ in the ring is second to none. It is top tier. And then Sol Ruca in the ring is phenomenal. And the work Becky can do on the mic will really challenge and take Sol Ruca to new heights, because she is already at the maximum hype of the crowd and everyone loves her. And Becky Lynch is going to take her to another level, and this will give Sol Ruca, she's going to win the title. Sol Ruca is going to win the Intercontinental title. So she's going to win the title, and then Becky can go do the main event thing. But for this feud, I say you let it run for about a month and a half, and or just give the title straight to Sol Ruca, have a rematch, have Becky lose, and move her on from here, because this is gonna fucking kill it, man. These two are going to just steal the show every night. Becky Lynch was going to be able to really just put Sol Ruca on the highest pedestal, and Sol Ruca even had a new theme, which I don't really like it too much, but the theme has a little bit of like that Seth Rollins where the crowd can possibly sing along. So I'm hyped to see if that eventually catches on. I don't think it will, just because the theme to me is kind of corny. But anyways, great segment. Becky Lynch is amazing. I love Sol Ruca, so I'm super excited for what they do. And then we get Austin Theory versus Joe Hendry. The match starts with another concert. Joe Hendry talking mad mess about Logan Paul, saying he wants to fire him. Logan comes out tweaking, heated, saying that he's the business, he's the heart and soul of WWE. The match goes on. Logan interferes, gets DQ'd. They start beating up Joe Hendry, and then the Street Profits come to make the save. And this is where it started getting chaotic. We had just people running in and out, left and right. The Street Profits come out. Braun Breaker comes out, takes out the Street Profits, and then right as you think Braun Breaker's got the upper hand, Seth Rollins comes out and starts beating up Braun Breaker, and then Braun Breaker eventually gets the upper hand and spears Seth Rollins yet again, so it leaves Braun Breaker standing tall again. Great. This is really progressing the feud of obviously Braun and Seth, who absolutely despise each other, and then we get the tag team-ish of the Street Profits and Austin and Logan feuding there. Great little segment. The crowd was really hyped for this because it was run-ins left and right. Bunch of chaos. So, good segment here. We have another bright spot. We have the Oba Open Challenge. And now, when this was announced, I wasn't the biggest fan, just because who's going to answer this? And this is who kind of I expected to answer. Kind of yeah, I didn't really know what to think of it. I didn't really like it. It was a lazy way to put Oba on the show. It's just, oh, who wants to come out and face Oba? No one should want to do that. But anyways, we have Akira Tozawa answer it. He gets in the ring. He looks at Oba. He says, "Nah, I don't want none of that." And Otis accepts the challenge. And this was kind of good. This was actually really good. They kind of go back and forth. Two monsters just colliding, and then Oba hits Otis with one of the nastiest uppercuts I've ever seen. He flies off the rope and levels Otis with an uppercut, and then does his little move where he launches Otis. He takes a 330-pound big round man and launches him across the ring, and and then he does the fall from grace. He had to put him on the middle rope for him to do this, but anyways, still he was able to hold Otis up and hit the fall from grace. And 1, 2, 3, Oba obviously wins this and squashes him pretty much. Again, fun match, great match. Again, the crowd tonight was great. Again, they're really 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 good. Hyping everything up. Just to get Oba on the show, hypes everyone up. Great segment. And for the Open Challenge going forward, I mean, there's very very few people who can answer it. It's got to be a big guy or just someone with a past or a history or the character that fits, be able to accept the Open Challenge. Like for example, I say next week you have fucking Penta answer the Open Challenge. And WWE can easily pull this off. You have Penta answer the Open Challenge. Ethan Page attacks him from behind so that when he gets in the match, he's injured. And you can have a decent 10-minute match between a champion of the mid-card and the main eventer like Oba. And obviously, Oba would pick up the win. And this is as the biggest Penta fan in the world. Or like a returning Sheamus or anyone that if you make the crowd believe that they can beat him, then it'll be good enough on Raw. It'll be good enough for the show. Like just for example, like Otis, just because he's a big guy, he ended up getting squashed, but it brought energy, and that's what we needed here. So great segment with the Oba Open Challenge. Then we get the Asuka and Io backstage sit down. They go back and forth, and then Asuka mists Io. Like again, I don't. This means nothing without Kyrie. This is pointless. WWE is just trying to throw this at us just because. I mean, this was not it. This was dumb in my opinion. And then we have the. I don't know what to think about this. We have the OG El Grande Americano and Los Hermanos Americanos versus El Grande Americano and Los Americanos. So the match was good. The match was electric. We have tag teams that are real life tag teams. They know how to tag team wrestle, but I mean the stories between the United States and Mexico just don't make any sense. So first you have them in Mexico. They're not allowed to touch each other. The El Grandes are not allowed to touch each other. They have a no contact clause, but then you come to the United States and it doesn't apply in the United States. I get that WWE is trying to progress and promote the feud here in the United States, but it just doesn't land with these American crowds. It makes no sense. They don't know who to cheer. They don't know who to boo, and it just creates so much friction. The commentators aren't explaining too well of how this is going because this is it's very much a joke here in the United States, but in Mexico, this is the thing. This is very serious in Mexico. This is the best feud in WWE right now. All of WWE, not just Raw, SmackDown, AAA, NXT. This is the top feud in all of WWE, and on the main roster, it's being treated like a joke. So if you're going to do this, I understand the promotion, and I like that they're doing that. But if you're going to do it this way, just leave it off to AAA. And don't have them wrestle on this card because you're taking away time from other talent when they're not really connecting the dots in the United States that they are in Mexico. So, great match, but it just doesn't land. I try to give it time, but WWE just doesn't seem to get it right with this storyline here in the United States. Just leave it in Mexico because it makes it look like a joke here in the United States when it's not a joke in Mexico. And then to end the show, we get the Roman and the Jacob Fatu contract signing. They both go back and forth. Roman says that, yeah, Jacob Fatu's been grinding for 12 years, but Roman's been in the WWE for over 12 years, and that that this is his shit. And says, why do you have to pull out the Tongan death grip? Fatu straight up comes out and says he's desperate. He wants it all. He wants everything Roman wants. And he's really selling it. And then Roman goes on and says everything is his, blah blah blah. These two really go back and forth in a decent promo, and they really look to get under their skin. And then it ends the show with Fatu attacking Roman with the Tongan Death Grip. Again, this segment really progressed that Jacob just don't give a rip. He don't give a shit. This dude is a psychopath, and that's what this is portraying him as. And Roman again sold the hell out of the Tongan Death Grip. Got all choked up, got slammed through the table, and then Jacob Fatu was holding the title or whatever, and it made him stand tall. This really hypes up the match here. For the short amount of time the WWE had to hype up the main event for Backlash, they did a extremely good job. So I'm glad with the end of this show, with WWE actually allowing these two to talk one-on-one, taking shots back and forth, elaborating and explaining why they are each doing what they are doing, and giving each other a piece of their mind, basically. Thank you, WWE, for that. And they do that, and then they let them brawl at the end with one of them getting the upper hand, and not just security breaking it up and up and up. So, overall, like I said, the show was really good. No complaints besides that the Americano thing. Everything else was just great. It was very entertaining. Another great way to end my Monday night. So, thanks for watching. I'll have the Backlash predictions video up tomorrow. And stay tuned for UFC predictions, UFC reviews. I'm doing it all this week. So stay tuned for all that, and take care and have a good one.